What an event, announcements. Some things have changed, other things have stayed the same as usual.
AirPods are the most popular earphones in the world.
Really?
Yeah.
On the latest calculator app, it actually completes equations for you. So this makes me wonder, are kids going to become really dumb?
Apple wants us to live longer. They actually want us to live for many more years. You can now record audio and separate the recording of the audio. I think that's brilliant. Having an Apple Watch for me has actually come as a thing that I have that I never knew I needed.
They have the ability to make the change if they really wanted to.
Hey, Apple just finished its Glow Time event where they've announced everything new that's coming to the Apple ecosystem. And believe me, you will be shocked. You're going to be hearing about Hollywood quality videos, an Apple Watch that could actually help you sleep better, AirPods that cost less and last longer. And it sounds like all science fiction, right? But let's dig in. I'm not alone. I'm with my co-host,
Mr. Khotso Mashian. It's good to be back. We just finished watching the Apple event.
What an event.
What an event, announcements. Some things have changed, other things have stayed the same as usual, but what an event nonetheless.
Although Steve Jobs is in the grave, we're seeing his legacy live on. And one of the first things they really got everybody seated on their seats, or the edge of their seats, was the Apple Intelligence. Artificial intelligence has really shaped what is of this year, 2024.
Yep.
And one of the things that I don't know if I'm happy about it, the partnership between Apple and being the richest company in the world with so much resources, and OpenAI being the new kid on the block that has all this AI innovation. Them coming together in a marriage?
It is quite questionable. And I think I mentioned this before in one of our earlier episodes where I mentioned, OpenAI is still fairly new on the block. And them partnering with a company that prioritizes privacy so heavily it's a bit of a juxtaposition. So I think that's why I was like, they incorporate in this whole thing of you having to grant Apple permission to be able to open ChatGPT to do any kind of function.
But I mean, so for those of you guys that are just tuning in, Apple basically announced that in the next iPhone 16, you're basically going to be able to use OpenAI together with your Apple Intelligence is what they're calling it. And you're going to be able to do so many tasks. I think for me, I asked myself questions. Are we going to be seeing Samsung partnering with Perplexity? We're going to be seeing Google partnering with another, or is Google going to stick with... Are we going to be seeing the intersection of mobile devices and artificial intelligence? Is this the future? Is our fridge going to have Claude in it? Is it?
Yes. So I can tell you that with Google's latest event that they had about a month or two ago, there was a lot of announcements of Samsung products in a Google event, it confused quite a lot of people. But I think what you're mentioning is on the brink. It's on the brink of happening, that hardware companies are seeing that people aren't as invested in hardware as they would be in software. So that might be on the rink.
This is the year where we're seeing everybody open up, their algorithms, open up every single piece of information that they've got to try and collaborate. And, we're seeing OpenAI getting information from the internet or getting information from databases, Perplexity, Claude. All these AI models are coming together to bring you an end product.
Yes.
And I think hardware companies are beginning to realize that if they don't do the same thing, they're going to be left behind. So I think vehicle companies are going to do the same thing. Camera companies are going to do the same thing.
Yep.
But what really amazed me was visual intelligence. Now, I was very impressed with this because Apple gave us an example and said, if your kid is studying for a mathematics exam, instead of you getting a tutor for your child, all you need is an iPhone with Apple Intelligence, and your child will be able to take a screenshot of the equation they are struggling with. And immediately, Apple Intelligence will be able to help them with that.
It solves it for you. And I don't know if you saw also on the latest calculator app that they released in the software update, it actually completes equations for you. So this makes me wonder, are kids going to become really dumb?
Yeah.
Are they going to become just dumber?
And I mean, the features of being able to take a picture of something and say, where can I buy this? I think that's long overdue because I've always wanted to do that, to say, so many times you have to take a picture of something and then wonder what it is.
Yes.
And I think also, a lot of the times intelligence has always been a factor that made many people poor. In terms of I remember my mom always knew where the bargains were, right? But there were other people who didn't know where the bargains were, so they always spent more, right? But now with Apple Intelligence, with visual intelligence, you're able to take a picture of something and find out which store has got the cheapest price at that moment.
Yeah, it starts doing price comparison for you. Actually, it's going to help so many people. You're right.
It's a whole new world.
A lot of cool features as well. You can take pictures of dogs, different objects, and get the exact name of and breed of that dog. Do you know what I mean? So it's very specific and meticulous.
Takes it to the next level.
It really does. Wow. But I think...
Can I take a picture of a person and get their name and number?
Maybe in the next software update.
Maybe the next one.
But I think also something I like to mention is that, yes, Apple is innovative in some sectors, but others they're not. So like you're saying, sometimes you figure out, or you see somebody wearing a cardigan on Instagram and you take a screenshot and wonder where it's from. You can actually already do that. You've been able to do that for a long time with Google Chrome. So Google Chrome essentially has that feature where you can import a picture and it gives you suggestions on where to buy it based on the design. So these are new features, yes, maybe more enhanced, but they have existed for a while.
I think Apple, so Apple announced the fact that they've got these new features, especially with Apple Intelligence. They said that they're the first to have it because of their specialized chips. But I think for me, what was quite impressive beyond all was the 4K capability. The fact that you can now shoot a music video, a video in 4K, log, edit it, make it perfect. They're basically replacing cameras, and right now we're talking to you through cameras. So who knows? Maybe in the next future we might be just buying
iPhones,
3 different iPhones,
and put them on little stands. And I think that is a possibility. Series have been getting shot. I know a couple of years back, Modern Family actually shot a whole episode just using the iPhone, and they didn't announce it until after it came out, so people didn't even notice. You know what I mean? So it is that good.
Yeah, but the 3D spatial video, I think that's going to be quite interesting because when you look at, what a lot of people are now saying, look, we want immersive experiences with our images. I think that's going to be quite cool, taking photos in 3D. They've got a new capture button, a photographer's dream.
I was salivating
because I was like, what button is this?
So, yeah, they announced a couple of things that you can do with this button. Not only can you take the picture, but you can just tap on it to open the camera app first of all, and then continue to tap on it so you don't miss the moment. So I don't know if you've noticed, but when you want to take a photo or video, clicking on the camera button, waiting for it to open a little bit, and then taking the picture does, you miss out on the moment if you are that meticulous with things. But otherwise, there's also new features. You can zoom in, you can change the color profile while you take the picture. You can zoom in, you adjust all the different modes,
on that button.
Yeah, even more professional features on the Pros and Pro Maxes. You can adjust the aperture, the f-stop, all of those things. So it's quite complex for such a small button. But I'm also wondering with covers, how are they going to be able to implement?
Oh, yeah, that's always a problem, because a lot of covers have to be so thick.
Exactly, and it's like an indented button if you look at the design. So I'm wondering how that's going to work out for them.
I think for me, I was quite impressed with the fact that you can now Photoshop on Apple itself, get rid of unwanted images. You take a picture of someone, you have to wait for an editor to take someone out or something. Now people are able to, that X that they don't want to see, they
just do it automatically.
Just pencil them out and then they're out.
Yes.
That was a cool feature, I thought.
I think it's incredible, yeah. And a lot of software companies have been using this AI feature to do it. Google as well and Samsung have incorporated it all this year into their phones. So it's quite cool to see. I think it's a great feature because, imagine having to wait another day just to erase one person. Now it's automatic, so that's great.
For me, one of the things that I caught from the event was that Apple wants us to live longer. They actually want us to live for many more years because from what I'm sort of noticing or what I'm sort of seeing, it would seem that the Apple Watch has been created to help each and every one of us live longer because now they're trying to solve sleep issues. They're trying to solve people with big health issues. And I think a lot of it before, it just used to be the fact that your Apple Watch could help you while you're awake and you can just check it out. But now it's able to check your sleep, send that through to your doctor, who's then able to write a prescription based on that data using AI to understand what your issues are. I was listening to that and I thought, sure, this is some amazing stuff happening here.
Yeah, they had a whole deep dive into sleep apnea. And I think something that I did want to cover in this episode was the fact that Apple is weighing so heavily into the medical tech industry. And that kind of makes you wonder what it is about, I guess, the world at large that makes them feel like they need to be inclined to both medicine and technology simultaneously. Or is it that they're just seeing that the worlds both collide and just merge perfectly?
I think people also want to live long. I think people are prioritizing their health these days.
True.
And I think, that in fact allows the device not only to be a watch, but it allows people to buy it with emotions of, oh, I'm going to live longer, I'll be more healthier, and I'll use it much better. But for me, I also think, with the advancement in technology, we then also have a bit of a tracking process where insurance companies, health companies can now know how much your life expectancy will be.
And you're actually going to change the insurance space.
Yeah, it changes things completely, because one could say, we don't want to insure you if you're not going to have your watch. And they're able to monitor, understand.
Asking you, why was your watch off that one weekend?
Our watches will be able to let us know, oh, by the way, your body's missing iron or your body's missing this vitamin. Take a shot of ginger, do this, do that, do that. And I think those are the things that people have been saying. This is where chips are now in our bodies, and
it's just
they're trying to control us.
Yes, as it's going to be.
So,
yeah, and I think also something I wanted to go back on with the cameras. While we're still on the the new design of the iPhones, I also wanted to mention the cameras. You can see that they've gone back to the iPhone 11 sort of look with the two cameras on top of each other. That's specifically for the iPhone 16 and iPhone 16 Plus. I think that's Plus. So the reason why they did that was specifically to help people capture spatial videos, and that was more catered to not only your experience on the iPhone but also on the Vision Pro. I know the Vision Pro is still fairly new, but the way Apple moves, that I've noticed, is that they start to integrate things very slowly, and then over time you see how it actually works in the product that they release down the line, 5 years down the line.
Very interesting, guys. And guys, did you guys watch the event? If you did, let us know in the comment section. If you did not, also let us know. And also let us know what other tech events would you want us to cover and review. And come here and have the conversation. This is Cyber Digest, where we help you understand the 4th, the 5th, the 6th, and even the 7th and the 8th industrial revolution. Another interesting thing that I thought was the AirPods. And I know you love AirPods.
I do.
For me, what I loved about the AirPods is the intelligent way of separating sound. The fact that I could be at a church service and the drummer and the singers are singing, but when I answer my phone call, you won't know that I'm in a church service. It will just isolate my voice only and eliminate any background noise. I think, well, it's going to exacerbate the lying, because where are you? I'm at home.
I'm at home in bed.
Well, you're not at home.
It sounds exactly like that.
This sounds like people taking meetings from the beach.
Yes.
There's Zoom meetings. Hello, I'm working.
At home.
Yeah, and they're actually not. But I thought that was quite cool.
I think it is quite impressive.
Yeah, I think it's very impressive. And especially because we live in a world where there's a lot of noise around us. And I think it's quite important that, I used to hate talking to somebody and say, please move to a better position. Or you're going, now at least with this new feature, it's going to be amazing. I love the 30 hours battery life.
It's so great. And they're actually not lying, guys. When they say it lasts 30 hours, it actually lasts 30 hours.
Yeah, it's brilliant.
Yeah,
absolutely brilliant.
Is.
And I think for me, the interesting thing was the fact that they actually studied every single type of ear in the world
to be able to mold
and they
create a design.
50 million data points to 3D print these AirPods. I thought that's amazing. But for me, the other shocking thing was the fact that they said AirPods are the most popular earphones in the world.
Really?
Yeah. They've become the most popular earphones in the world. They are now
actually kind of surprised by that.
Yeah. And I think, to be honest, it comes back to that old saying of saying any market is disruptible.
Yeah, that is true.
No matter 5-10 years back, who would have thought AirPods would ever become a thing?
Yeah, and I think
thought that earphones were the ultimate.
Yes, and I think that Apple sort of saw that coming. I think they really did see that coming because before you always used to be able to get AirPods or headphones in the case with your phone for free.
Yeah,
and I think they realized let's actually milk this market of headphones.
They started,
yes, let's
and Tim Cook and the team. If you guys are watching, we hate the fact that when we lose our case or we lose one AirPod,
you have to
buy the whole thing. Unacceptable. They need to stop that. And for me, I think the beautiful thing that I thought they brought in, which was very needed, is audio. The fact that you're able to record on your iPhone the same way you're recording in studio, that's going to be amazing for talent. Because I've logged onto TikTok and I've heard people sing on TikTok, And I'm like, this person should have a studio and
Yes.
should record an album.
And they don't have it.
And they don't have enough of that. Yeah. So now when they've actually put in your iPhone ability for you to be able to record as though you're in a studio, I think that's phenomenal.
That's brilliant. It really is brilliant.
Yeah.
I think with platforms like Adobe Audition, stuff like that will begin to slowly fall away, depending on who you are. Like you're saying, if you're a micro influencer on TikTok making music, you're able to create quality sounding and quality looking footage and stuff for your followers.
And the fact that you can now record audio and separate the recording of the audio, I think that's brilliant, because
That was amazing.
I don't know. I mean, let us know as well if any of you guys are in the media space. But the biggest headache has always been, if you don't have good quality audio, you might as well not even start.
Yeah, no.
Because everybody wants the audio element of it. I mean, I once did a talk at a graduation and I had bad audio, and till date, I don't have that footage because the audio was very bad. Yeah. But, I think it's so important to be able to do that, because separating the audios has always been a thing of, you have to give it to a sound engineer to mix it for you. But now being able to do it, I think that's going to be great.
The power is all in the palm of your hands now.
Yeah, the A18 Bionic chip is now out. And yeah, Apple 16 is now out. People are going to be selling, do they sell body parts? What do people do to get it? I saw the memes on Twitter. People are beginning to sell my arms and my legs and my other kidney for people to be able to get, But you know what? I want to put this on the Apple Watch, right? Because it's been 10 years now of the Apple Watch. And I think when the Apple Watch started, I said to a friend of mine, this is ridiculous. I'm not going to get involved. But later on, I bought one. And having an Apple Watch for me has actually come as a thing that I have that I never knew I needed. Because for me, the fact that that little circle closes on my health and the footsteps that I'm taking, it's such an added benefit on my health that I finally realized that actually that's the right way to do it. And I think the exciting part is the fact that now when I'm training, I don't need to have AirPods on. I can have music on the new.
Oh, yes, they did announce. You can listen to
when you're training with a trainer, you feel so awkward now when you're with a group of people. You can play some music. It's always nice. Or when you're jogging, I think that's going to be quite amazing. Yeah. So what are you getting out of all the new stuff? What are you buying? What can't you wait to get your hands on?
So I lost my AirPods a couple of months back, but I will definitely be getting my hands on the new AirPod Pros.
Of course.
I need those again.
Of course.
But I think outside of that, like you were mentioning, the watches. The watches actually are really great added benefits. And I think yourself, as someone who's on insurance with Discovery, I don't know if I should be mentioning.
Yeah.
But the health features, not only is it benefiting your health, but I think it's impacting your finances as well. Because I've heard somebody saying that they had to pay about 2,000 or 3,000 rand to fix their car. But they said, no, you have more than enough Discovery miles. So it paid for that entire, fixing of the car. So I think that's something that I would like to invest my time and money into, getting an Apple Watch for sure.
The world is getting to a place where a lot of stuff are becoming interconnected, where wearable technology, the Internet of Things, wearable technologies. I think, we're definitely going to be seeing more of that. But for me, as we just reflect on this event, for me, it will always be that thing of Steve Jobs is in the grave. And
still living and breathing
in the grave, yet his products are still... Because let's be honest, the iPhone has not changed dramatically in any other way from when he was still involved. He was years ahead.
He was design, functionality, quality. He was like the epitome of a perfectionist.
What a legend.
And I'm waiting to see,
who is going to be the
next Steve Jobs. Maybe he's a once in a lifetime.
The episode though, without, mentioning some of the things that I've always been concerned about Apple, which is the fact that we keep hearing that Apple is behind the war in the Congo.
Oh,
the war against minerals and young children being abused for the minerals. So as much as I'm excited about the tech, we need to be conscious of the fact that if Apple does not address these sort of things, they make a lot of people feel uncomfortable for enjoying the
actual product. You're right. And, a lot of people do say it's not worth it buying the latest product if you got the one the year before, or even 2 years.
I've got a friend who says, I will not buy a new phone up until
it's broken and done. And I think that's how everybody should be moving if you want to sort of, protest against, the wars happening in Congo and other countries. But you still want to use the product because you need to have a phone or a laptop or whatever it is in your life. Yeah, don't upgrade. If you have the iPhone 15, please don't upgrade to the iPhone 16 now.
You talking to me?
You can keep your phone until the 18. It's for people like me. I'm still on a smaller iPhone. I think this leap would be significant. But yeah, I think that's one way to sort of support the war, if you could call it that indirectly.
Yeah, I think, a lot of times I've said to people that what's interesting about Apple is the fact that they speak a lot of change, of which, I must be honest, I've seen a lot of Indian professionals in this event. I've seen a lot of Chinese professionals, Asians as well. They do speak a lot of change, which is really, really great. But I am concerned that they're not checking their supply chains properly, because
I think that they know. I'm of the impression that they are very aware. I don't think they're oblivious to it.
Because I think maybe the supply chain, the people supplying them,
yes,
that are going through dubious ways.
But I think if you're talking about a company as big and as significant as Apple, one, I definitely think that they're aware of it. They know their entire ecosystem from start to finish. And I think there was an article, don't quote me on this, that came out about 2 years back saying that not only did Steve Jobs, but also Tim Cook was very heavily involved in, the streamlining of the products from minerals to the, finished product. So I don't think it's that they're not aware. I feel like they have the ability to make the change if they really wanted to. But I think it might just be a big disruption to the way that they normally flow. That's what I think.
Yeah, these are things that we must get Apple to be aware of. And if you are watching the episode, please put a hashtag there to say, Apple, be conscious.
Yeah.
Apple, be conscious of what's going on. One of the things that I found interesting was that, we usually have this event on a Tuesday. But because of the debate in the US, Trump against Kamala Harris, they moved it to Monday, which reminded the whole world that Apple is an American company. I mean, if they're going to move that event that's supposed to be for the world, because of...
It's actually true.
Yeah, I don't agree with that, with what they did, because I always find that Apple has come to live in so many people's hearts globally.
Yeah, we don't even see it as an American company.
Yeah, that it feels kind of awkward when this thing happens. And, every single time they always launch America first, always starts there. But hey, people will always say, whoever, creates the product or owns the product, they get to decide.
Exactly.
So that's what they did. Yeah, that's what they did.
That's exactly what they did.
Some interesting stuff coming up at the Apple event. Let us know. And remember to share this video and leave a comment if you want to see more of these type of videos. Any closing thoughts?
I like that you touched on Congo, on the sustainability, and not supporting the war. I think people should be very aware that the wars are happening, and these products that are, now in your hands are, it costed somebody's life, most likely. So yeah, let's just be more conscious about where we're spending, how we're spending, and who we're supporting. Yeah, that's from me.
Yeah, and from myself, thank you so much, guys, for the feedback that we've been receiving. A lot of you have given us lots of suggestions. A lot of you have told us what you'd want to see more. And we're actually going out to shoot more episodes of Cyber Digest that will come to you. We're in Cape Town very soon. We're going to be shooting all the techies in Cape Town that are building amazing stuff that are involved in artificial intelligence and blockchain and machine learning, all the young professionals. We want to bring you as much value and as much information about everything technologically inclined that we can. So also let us know in the comment section what else you want to see. But from us, thank you so much for joining us for the Cyber Digest episode.
Signing out.